Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls New Game Plus Bosses. And today is time for a very special boss, the Lord of the Abyss, Manus. I had extreme difficulty killing him last time. Matter of fact, I didn't really legitimately kill him. This time though, totally different story. Before you go in this boss fog, do yourself a favor. Don't do what I did the first time and not have the pendant. For the love of God and all that's holy, get the pendant. I don't particularly enjoy this fight. It is somewhat of a gimmick fight. I don't like gimmicks, but hey, I mean, the actual fighting itself, pretty fun. I just hate having to be dependent on one item. Keep in mind, everyone, like I said before, I'd never actually legitimately killed this boss. I'd fought him plenty of times, but I'd never killed him. So what you're seeing here is relearning all his patterns, and seeing when I can attack. So if you get one thing out of this, just like the Artorias guide, try and figure out where you can hit and when you can hit. First things first, I would very highly recommend having a very good shield with the stability fairly high. I'd say mid-70s would probably do as long as you have 40 endurance on New Game Plus, which you probably should have. If you do not have a good shield, or maybe you just want to two-hand your weapon, well, you can do that. You just better be very, very good at dodging, because this boss loves to go into frenzies, and if he hits you with the first attack, he combos and juggles you. The other thing I would recommend is only having your Estus and your silver pendant on your item bar, because if you have anything else on there, it's gonna get cluttered and it's gonna get really hectic in the middle of the fight. And as I usually almost always say, a quicker weapon is ideal for this. I'm only doing this with a machete because 1, I'm somewhat, I guess, masochistic, 2, I love big weapons, and 3, if I can hit him, then you know, by God, if you use a faster weapon, you can hit him. As you can see, his frenzy does knock off a fair bit, but his frenzies get worse than that. I think later he'll actually add a jumping attack to that frenzy. Now if he misses on his jump like that, that is an ideal time to hit. You don't get too many ideal times to hit, so take advantage of them while you have them. Now if you can tell the difference between his 2-strike attacks and his frenzies like I've gotten able to after facing him 20-30 times, that's also a very, very good time to hit him. Just make sure you're fast enough to either get your shield up afterwards or roll out of the way. Oh, and remember what I said earlier about don't get caught in the combo? Yeah, if you do, you're gonna get hit 5 times like I did here, and if you don't have a lot of vitality like I do, bye-bye. Now, if you do need to heal, the best way that I found in my attempts was to go back away and wait till he does that, and preferably, you know, not mix up the whole 2 items on your item bar, and heal when he does that. Now after you're done, you know, not mixing up your whole 2 items, you want to put your silver pendant back, because hopefully you're not going to get hit that often, and when he starts throwing dark magic around, you want to have that on there. You don't want to try and flip around and try and get it back on there. That'll get you killed pretty darn fast. Trust you me, that's how I died before this. Yes, amazingly, this only took 2 attempts. Once I actually had the pendant. Sorry, I'm still sore about that I needed an item to legitimately kill this boss. Or maybe I'm just really, really bad at dodging, I don't know. But back to the fight. You know, sometimes in Dark Souls, a bad memory can get you killed. Other times it just makes you look like a complete moron, but you lived through it. That was one of the latter. Just how in the world a man could forget that he has the one item equipped and the other one not, I don't know. Alright, don't ask me, it just happens. You ever have those moments where your worst enemy of a boss all of a sudden appears in front of you? Yeah, neither had I. I actually did not know I could summon Sif. I knew I could free him, and I did, but I didn't know you could actually summon him for this fight. I guess the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's the only way I would ever summon Sif. But by God, I did not want to die at this point. That and I kind of wanted a distraction. Maybe kind of hoping he'd die at the end of it. Okay, I just hate Sif. But I did want that thing dead more. Like I said earlier, if you use a big, heavy, slow weapon, you can only hit him after certain attacks, and you better be sure what attack he's using and when he's using it. And you may be tempted into thinking, well, if I can dodge those first few attacks, I can hit him while he's in the middle of a frenzy, right? Yeah, if you're suicidal, I really would not ever recommend that. Even to Sif, I wouldn't recommend that. Of course, failing like I did here and actually not hitting him while he's turned around, generally not recommended. You want to take advantage of every opportunity you have. Especially later in the fight, because later in the fight you're way more likely to make mistakes, and mistakes in later end of the fight can get you killed very fast. Now this is my last Let's Play where I died repeatedly. I couldn't figure out how to live. You want to use your pendant here, and you may have to use it twice depending on when you used it, because it doesn't last very long. And then Sif is going to get hit by that. Make no mistake, he's going to get hit. And if you're like me, you laugh. If you like Sif, you go, aww. But he's going to get hit, and hopefully you won't. Other than his darkness attacks, which he has multiple of, I didn't realize that before this fight. He has multiple. One where he gets a circle of dark magic around you and they surround you and they come in. One comes straight at you. The one straight at you takes very fast reaction time, so watch out for it if you're close. Now, other than his dark magic, the fight really stays the same. You hit him when you can, try not to get hit, and make sure you have your pendant equipped and ready to use at any time, as long as you're not trying to heal. And if you are trying to heal and he does it, make sure to switch back first, obviously. It's a real good thing I have a twitchy trigger finger, otherwise that would have hit me right in the face. Of course, I also thought that actually had more than just that short burst, so make sure you get the timing of that. And this is the circular attack. Once those black things hit your shield, you don't have to hit it anymore. That's just wasting time. But on this one, you want to make sure that the attack is done, otherwise you can get hit by stray bolts. You know, during the fight I never actually paid attention, but is Sif actually doing any damage, or is he just acting as like a decoy, and doing a very poor job of that? Remember guys, greediness and Dark Souls bosses will get you burned more often than not, and that was a prime example of that. And I forgot just how long that attack range was. That is you got to keep your shield up even if you do back up. Try to be able to differentiate the difference between a frenzy and his dark magic. The differences are pretty big. I mean, big, glowing, yeah, that, versus nothing. Generally, as soon as I see the telltale sign of dark magic, I hit X twice. I don't like trying timing it, otherwise I get hit. This can betray you. If he uses the frontal blast, you might actually have to try and time it, because if you hit X twice, he's probably going to smack you in the face like he did earlier. There's always the one shadow bolt, isn't there? And that's why I said earlier, you may want to actually hit that 2 or even 3 times to make sure you don't get hit with that straight bolt. I don't know if you can actually kill Manus if you don't have the pendant. Lord knows I probably tried 30 times before. I never could do it. I don't know if you can. Hopefully you can. Remember earlier when I said mistakes in the last half of the fight can really kill you? Those darkness attacks pretty much hurt. Everything I've been hit with so far was only one bolt or one like half a second of it. If that hits you full force in the chest or face, yeah, that'll probably take my health bar down to a smidgen. Now, once Sif gets damaged, as you probably saw him limping over there, he's about as useless as a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. If he even was useful in the first place. For anyone wondering, I've tried cutting his tail off in the past. I don't think you can actually cut it off. If you can, I'm going to be rather miffed, but I don't think you can actually cut it off. I don't even want to imagine what you'd have to do to try and dodge all that crap when he rages like that. Keep in mind, guys, this may not be the most exciting strategy in the world, blocking and then basically waiting for an attack, but this is all I could come up with. Like I said, I'm still learning. This is only my second run through the DLC. And we've entered the point where I start thinking, oh god, he's almost dead. One more hit, one more hit. Let's just say, I was really mad that he was not dead. I'm sorry, I've yet to come up with a strategy how to deal with this jump. All I do is block, and I never got hit, so that's what I recommend, just blocking when he jumps. I really wanted to make that last epic run sprint attack there, but I thought better of it, and I'd recommend you doing the same. For all I know, it may have worked. For all I know, it could have also gotten me smacked in the face, but it's generally not worth risking. Not when you can have a sure thing. Not when you can have a sure thing, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, my happiness cannot be described with words. This was my very first takedown of Manus, legitimately. I was so happy. Not only did I do the praise the sun, joy, and wave, but I also decided to, you know what? I think I might as well do it again. But, thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.